For the last year or so, I've been keeping a decision journal, and it's been a really useful habit. So I wanted to explain why I started doing it and how it helps, because maybe others might benefit from implementing the same habit. I learned about this approach from Shane Parrish, who writes and hosts a podcast at Farnham Street, fs.blog. Shane explained how he realized at a certain point his primary work product is decisions, but he doesn't have a formalized feedback loop for the quality of the decisions that he makes. He's making a bunch of decisions. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, and he makes more, but he didn't have a structured way to evaluate the quality of the decisions he'd made in the past, or the quality of his decision-making process. So when I read that, I immediately thought, uh-oh, me either. But the article went on. Shane explained how he has corrected that situation by keeping a decision journal. And that's blogging or teaching at its best, as somebody who has a problem, figures out a way to solve it, and then publishes their work for others who might benefit. It's beautiful when it works, and it worked perfectly in this case. Decision journal is intended to prevent hindsight bias, to prevent myself from 6 months from now misremembering my perspective on an issue. Like, if an unseen variable completely derails my plan, was it really completely unseen, or did I see it and I just didn't adequately mitigate for it? It was that a mistake in decision making, or was it a planning problem? Hindsight bias might make it hard to know that, but a decision journal will reveal it. So basically what I do is I use the decision journal that Shane created. It's excellent. I didn't think I could improve on it. You can find it on his website. Also, there's a link in the description. Or you can just Google decision journal, and this PDF will be probably the top result. I print a bunch of them in a batch, and I got a notebook with tabs marked by month. And about once a month, I sit down for a couple hours and I write about anything big I've decided in the last month. We're talking about decisions of significance here. So like to cancel an event, or to open a new program, or to hire someone, or to reorganize a unit, significant decisions. I've never had more than 3 of these in any one single month. But I sit down, it usually takes me, maybe 2 hours in one sitting to write out all of the information, fill out this decision journal form, on all of the context surrounding that choice. The form prompts you to record things like, what alternatives were seriously considered but not chosen? And what's the range of possible outcomes? And what do you think is most likely going to happen? And then it prompts you to pick a date in the future for review. I do all of that, and then I put it in my notebook, organized according to the month in which I need to see it again. Most decisions I review about once every 6 months or so until their outcome is known, and then I'm archiving them. And I've been doing this for about a year, and I'm on decision number 15. So that's about how much I've been using it. And it's really interesting looking back at the decisions that I made a year ago and reading about what my thinking was at that time, and then now being a year removed and seeing how the context has changed, and now the outcome's known, and sometimes there are things I was not really concerned about that became the primary roadblock, and there are other times where I was really concerned about this one specific thing and it wound up being a non-issue. And it's very useful feedback loop to create for yourself. I could see this system working for individuals, just like I'm using it. I could also see it being really useful for committees. In a committee setting, you've got something less than perfect alignment when the decision is made, and then alignment degrades quickly. So decisions, especially big ones that result in poor outcomes, are susceptible to revisionist history. So a written record of that decision, its reasons, its context, could help to get back at least close to the degree of alignment the committee had in the moment the decision was made. And that could be a very useful thing when the group is trying to learn from the outcomes of its decisions. So anyway, that's the decision journal. I've been doing it and love it. I think maybe it might be helpful for some of you.